Everyone, so now we are going to discuss about Syslog, this one, and then we are going to do this lab also. So how we can configure the Syslog server and how we can monitor and log the messages we are going to see, and also we are going to see what is Syslog and what are the different severity level in the Syslog and how we can configure. We are going to see that one. Okay, so let's start the theory, then we will go for lab. So if we see Syslog stands for System Logging Protocol. So whatever is happening in the system, whatever, if anything go down, anything come up, all we are going to record in the log. Actually it is recording in the router, but the issue, router is having memory, that is limited memory, and we don't want to put load on the router. If it is going to store lot of memory, maybe it is using lot of memory, and then we will have the issue also, because router is used for routing, not for storing the logs. But by default we can store in the router also. But if your router restart, reboot, we will lose all the logs. For that situation, for that issue, it is better if we have dedicated server and we store all the logs in that server. So first of all, Syslog stands for System Logging Protocol, and Syslog is a standard for messaging login. In simple, just we need to remember, if anything go in our network, if anything go down, came up, or any activity happen in our network, all our devices is going to generate the log. Example, you will have the log messages in the firewall also, you will have the log messages in the router also, you will have the log messages in the switch also. All devices are generating the logs, so that all logs is going to store in the local device or the Syslog server. Example, if you see, imagine I have one router here and I am having one server, or maybe this is a switch, and the switch is connected to one server. All the router, whatever I have, this all router information is going to send to this server. This server is having the application. We have different application also for Syslog. We have third-party applications, so many applications in the market. We can check which one we need. We can install and we can configure. So all the logs, whatever we are getting from the router, switches, servers, and all our firewall, everything is going to store here. Whenever we want to check, we can check. Okay, so we are storing in one separate server. That server is known as Syslog server. And in our router also we can store, but the problem, whenever router reboot, we will lose all the logs. For that purpose, what we will do, we will not store the logs on the router, we will use the external server, and we are going to store all the logs in the external server. So let's see that one, how we can do. We have so many applications. If you see here, I mentioned the name. We can use the so many applications. From SolarWind we have the WhatsApp Gold, we have the PRTG. Many companies are using this one also, PRTG. For Syslog we have WhatsApp Gold. We have so many. We can use anything, but the let me show you the one which I am using. I have the one application here. I think I did not put here, but anyhow, 3C Diamond I am using for lab purpose. This is freely available. You can download from the internet, 3C Diamond. In this application we have the TFTP and FTP and Syslog services. So this application acting as a TFTP server, this application acting as a FTP server, this application acting as a Syslog server also. So for lab purpose we can use this one. For lab purpose we can use this application. In the real scenario we will use the different application. If you see here, the name I mentioned, the most popular application is from SolarWind, and also we are using the PRTG. Depend company to company. Some are using WhatsApp Gold, some are using what we can say SNMP software, Syslog Watcher. They have different. So maybe your company is using different also. They have lot of application. But depend our requirement, our company budget, we can look that one. Configuration is simple. Just we need to go inside the router. And we need to write the command login host and whatever the IP address of our Syslog server. So if you see here, if I check here in our let me select the Syslog server. If I select the Syslog server, I can see here I am listening. This application is listening from the IP 192.168.65.1, 244.1 and 192.168.2.130. From these three, my application is listening. My this what we can say Syslog server is listening from this IP. So now what we can do, we can check what IP we have here. This router is having which IP. Because I want to check what is the IP for my Syslog server. In the real scenario, we are going to assign the IP address here. But here what I done, I taken the NAT cloud. I taken this NAT cloud to connect that to my routers. Because why I am using NAT cloud? I want to connect this router to 3C Daemon application. So 3C Daemon, this application install in my computer. Okay, this application install in my computer. So how I can connect my computer to this router and switch means I need to take the NAT cloud and I need to connect to switch. So I use, this is a NAT cloud only I change the icon. Okay, let me check if I can show you. Maybe I can enable this port so you can see this is a NAT. See, this is a NAT cloud. So what I can say, I use the NAT cloud to connect this both router to my this application. And here I see whatever IP my application is listening. Now what I can do, I can start this router. I think already it is started. So I can take the console of this router. This is R2. So let me start from here again. I will open this R1. I will take the console of R1. Okay, and I will take the console of R2 also. Let me take console of R2. Now I have the two router R1 and R2. Let me check here, R1 and R2. Let me check here, show IP interface brief. So I don't have anything IP. So what I will do, I will go in the global configuration mode, interface fast Ethernet 0x0. I will write IP address DSCP and then no shut. Why I am writing this one? So I can get the IP from here, from the NAT cloud. So when we get the IP, we know this is connected in which range. Okay, for that purpose I will use, so I will write here show IP interface brief. If you see, I get this IP. Okay, this IP for R1. So R1 is having this IP. If you want to give manually, you can give manually also. But how we know the NAT range means, we can go here. We can go in the edit virtual network adapter and we can check here what we have for our NAT cloud also. If you see, this is my NAT cloud. I can click here. I can see 65.2, 192.168.65. So I am getting the 65 range. So for that purpose, what I can do, I can write 192.168.65 dot something here, something here. Okay, we can do this way, or just assign the IP from the DSCP. So we will get automatically from that range only. So in the real scenario, we will assign the IP, but for the lab purpose, I am writing interface fast Ethernet 0x0 IP DSCP no shut. IP address DSCP no shut. So I am getting the IP from the DSCP, but in real scenario, we will assign, we will have the IP address, we have the IP plan. With that plan, we are going to assign the IP. Okay, so what I am doing here, let me check. Still we did not get the IP. Now we have the IP. So this IP I get from the DSCP. So I will paste this IP here. So this IP present here, this IP present here. Now we need to configure the logs. If you see here, this is the logs. If you see whatever log we are getting here, this is nothing but log. Example, if I go here inside here, I will create one loopback 0 in the R2. When I create the loopback 0, if you see, this is the log. I have something written here, the December 19, and it is giving the time, and it is giving percentage line protocol 5 up down, and the line protocol of the line interface loopback 0 state up. So this is nothing but system messages, syslog. This is some log message. So we need to read, we need to understand also. So what I can say here, this log message also we need to understand. It is generated in this format. Okay, in this format. So in this one, what we will have the sequence number, then we will have the time stamp, then we will have the percentage and facility, that is severity level, mnemonic, and the description. So if you see here, we have the time and date, and then percentage, and the severity level, this is the level 5, and some mnemonic, that is change, and here is a description what happened, this interface status administrative done. So this way we will have the syslog message. So we can read. How we will read timestamp, this is a timestamp, time and date, this one, then percentage and severity level, this is a severity level, then mnemonic, what we have in mnemonic like change or anything in the shortcut they will write, then we have the description. So this is a format of the syslog message. If you see this way, this I am saying, this is a timestamp and this is syslog message, this is severity, this is the percentage and mnemonic and the description. So what we can say here, this one is very important, we need to remember. 0 means emergency, 0 means emergency, 1 means alert, 2 means critical, 3 means error, 4 means warning, 5 means notice. Just they are going to notify you. If you have 5 means, where I am saying here in this place, if we have 5, that is nothing but normal, but they are going to indicate something, they are going to show us something, they are giving some notification to us. If we have 4 here in this place, then we can say that is a warning. Total how many we have? Total we will have 7. Okay, total we will have 7. If you see 0 to 7, total will be 0 to 7, because in the interview they are asking. So we need to remember we have total severity level from 0 to 7, and we need to remember 5 means notice and 4 means warning, 3 means error. We need to remember in the sequence. We need to remember in the sequence. When we have 7, that is nothing but debug. When we open the debug, we will have the 7. And if you have 6, that is only information message. When we have the 5, that is notice. When we have the 4, warning. When we have the 3, means error. When we have the 2, means critical. When we have 1, means alert. When we have 0, means emergency. So this level we need to remember, because sometime in interview they are asking you what is the meaning of severity, that is the value of the 4 or maybe 3. What is the meaning of that one? Means we need to define, that is nothing but error, something error in the device. So this table we need to remember, and this is the syntax of the syslog. And how we can configure means, only we need to write login host and we need to define the IP address of the server. This IP we already know in our organization, we will have the IP plan. So by seeing that IP plan, we know that what is the IP of the syslog server. But here in this case, we will check our application. He is listening from here, and I configure this what I can say here, the IP from the DHCP server. So I am getting 65. So if you see here, that will be 65.1, this one. So now with this one, by comparing this one, I know that is a 192.168.65.1 is a IP of my DHCP, IP of my syslog server. So now I can configure that one. How I can configure? Just I can go to router 1. First one I am going to router 1. I will write here. What command I can write? I can write the host. Let me write login host, and give the IP address of the server 192.168.65.1, right? So this I put here, this one. Just I write login host and I give the IP address. Our IP address here, you can see this is our IP address 192.168.65.1. So let's see here what we are getting when I put this here. After that we can check it will start login, yeah or not. Yeah, if you see, it is saying here start stop, all the log message whatever we have, we are going to send to this server. Okay, they are using this port number and they started. So we will have here, if you see the first log message we have here, what we have, this is the December timestamp here, and here we have the IP address of that device, and this is a message type. This will be local only, so no need to see this. This is the important from here. This is the timestamp. Then we have the percentage and the severity level and the 6. If you see this number, and then login is start. So this one came. But if example, if I create any loopback here, let me go to the config T. I will write interface loopback 0. I created one loopback 0. This loopback 0 go up. This will also record here. If you see second one, Here it is saying some percentage link protocol. Phi means what? We need to remember what is the meaning of phi. If you see here, phi means what we told, notice. Only they are giving the notice that this protocol go up. So this is a up down, and the line protocol of the interface loopback 0 change to state up. So it go up. Example, if again I put this one as a shirt, it will give that one, it go down. It will give that one, it go down. Administrative go down means someone put shirt manually. If I write no shirt, then it will go up. So same thing, if you have 100 router, we will write this command in all the 100 router. So all the routers will send the log to this server. Okay, all the logs will store here. And whenever we need, we can export, we can download. We have different tools. We can check the graph. We can draw the graph when this interface go down, when this interface come up. We can perform all that activity. Okay, so here what we are saying that one, by using this command we can log our message to that server, and we will have the centralized server. And in the router also we have the log. If we want to check in the router also, we can check by writing show login. We can check in the router also. If I go here in the router, show, let me go here, I will write here show logging, and if I type here in the router also, we will have some logs. If you see, this also present in the router. Okay, the same log whatever we have in the login server, that is also present in the router by default, but it is having the limited memory. If you see, for the log buffer, this is 8192 bytes of log it is going to store. After that, if the log came more, if this what we can say, this memory finish, they will delete the old log and they will store the new log. Okay, they are going to delete the old logs and they are going to store the new logs. So for that purpose we are using the syslog. So our logs will not go, all the record, everything we should have in our centralized server. Okay, in the centralized server we will have all detail. So for that purpose we are configuring, and if you see, this is working. Okay, all everything will store here. If you want to increase this memory size also, we can increase, but it is not recommended to store this all log in the router. Always try to use the syslog server, because we don't want to keep everything on the router. Router is the device we are using for routing purpose, not for the storing purpose. So what I am saying, this is the size we can see by typing the show login command, and we can get the all logs also, whatever logs is present in the router. And one more thing, when we, what we can say, when we telnet or SSH, we cannot see the syslog message. Example, what I will do here, imagine this is my computer. Okay, imagine this is my computer and this is router. So R1, I will go here, this is the R1, this is the R1. So in the R1 I will make one username admin, password admin, and then I will write line vty024 login local. Okay, just I configure the telnet, and if I want to enable, I will write enable password admin. So what I done, I just configure the telnet here. Just I configure the telnet in the R1. Now imagine this R2 is my computer. Okay, R2 is my computer. If I want to telnet the R1, so what I will do, I will write telnet 192.168.65.162. Okay, I will type this router IP. When I write the router IP, I get the telnet prompt. I will write admin and I will write admin, so I can access the R1. I will go inside, then admin password, I will type the admin password, that is whatever a password, and then I can write here, example, I want to check interface. I will write show IP interface brief. I write the interface, so I check here, I have loopback 0 and it is done. Okay, loopback 0 and it is done here. If you see, whatever we done, we don't have any log here in our machine computer. When I telnet from my computer or any router to this router, I am not getting any log here. Okay, in this machine nothing, we cannot see. Example, I will write here, like I will go in the configuration interface loopback 0. I will say here no shut. Okay, I make this loopback go up. but if you see, we don't have any log here because we telnet. I am in the R2. I am here in this machine. I taken R1 via telnet or SSH, and whatever operation I am performing, I cannot see that operation because logs that are disabled when we do telnet or SSH. But if you go here, you have all the logs here. If you see, you have all the logs in the local machine. But when you connect the local machine by using the telnet or SSH, you cannot see the log. So if you want to see that log, we can enable by using this command. By using this command, which command? This one, terminal monitor. We need to type this command. So when we type this command, we can see these messages even if we are connecting with the telnet. So I will go here, I will type this one, terminal monitor. When I type this terminal monitor, I can see the log messages. Now I will go to the config T. If you see, I will write here interface loopback 0 and then I will write shut. Okay. If you see, I can see this log. I am in the R2. Before I cannot see this log. When I make here, if you see, when I make here no shut, I cannot see the log. But if I want to see the log, syslog messages, even if I connected with telnet or SSH, I need to type this terminal monitor. When we write terminal monitor, we can see the log. So I make this interface on, so we see the logs. If I write no shut, we will see the logs. This log, just we need to remember, whenever we are accessing any device via telnet or SSH, we cannot see the syslog messages. If we are connected with the console cable, then only you will see. But in the real scenario, always we are not having the console cable. Always we will not go to the IT room, that is the server room. Always we are not going to server room to access any device. We are sitting in first floor, server room is in the fourth floor. Just we will access with the telnet or SSH only. We will not take our laptop console cable, go to the server room, open the server room. Server room is always very cold. So many ACs are running to keep the server's router cool. Okay. So that we can go server room, we can sit there, but more time we cannot sit because it is very cold. This room is very cold. So many ACs are running there all the time. So we cannot sit long time. If we want to change anything, we are using telnet or SSH only to access the device, to configure the device. So what we will do, we will go for server room sometime. Okay, but if you want to change the configuration, most of the time we are doing from our decks only. We are sitting in our decks, we are accessing the devices remotely. We are telnet or SSH. But when we take the device remotely and you are doing some configuration, you are not getting any messages. Maybe you are confused why this interface is not giving any message. I make this interface up and on, but it's still no message. So for that purpose, we need to write this command, terminal monitor. When we write the terminal monitor, our logs, whatever is not coming, that logs will start coming on the screen. Okay, so this one I wrote here in the notes. This one, we enable the syslog message to telnet or SSH by typing the terminal monitoring command. So this way, all the local, whatever local messages are storing, that is storing in the RAM, when it is reload, it will erase. So for that purpose, we will use the centralized server and we will log all the messages on the centralized server. So this is a theory and also lab for the syslog server. Here I put in the GNS3 lab. You can use any lab and connect the syslog. In the GNS or EVNG also we have the syslog server. We can use that syslog server also if you want to use. But better than that one, I use this application to show you like little real scenario. Okay, but in the real scenario you will have the paid version application, so you have more feature compared to here. Okay, all the whatever activity happen, it is recorded here. We can download, we can export this file in the Excel format, but here that facility is not available. When we go for the paid version, we will have so many options there. So with this one we learn the syslog server. Okay, so let me